And the fact that I'm giving Shedeur Sanders a legit opportunity to win this quarterback position, whether you guys like it or not. You got people within the Browns, Cleveland media that are saying, "Oh, well, this could be one and done for Todd Monken. He could be fired after 1 year." Oh, now you want him fired after 1 year because he didn't make a move to get Ty Simpson. He's not going to go get Brendan Sorsby. Oh, Brendan Sorsby isn't even eligible for the NFL anymore, not even through the supplemental draft. Oh, he didn't go get Kyler Murray, who you wanted, or Malik Willis.
They're getting real desperate, y'all. The coach commits to a fair competition, and the reward is people calling for his job before kickoff. This is getting desperate. So, don't skip a single second of this video. And if this story touches your heart, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments. Where are you watching from? Let's begin. Let me get this straight. Todd Monken has not coached a single regular season game for the Cleveland Browns. Not one. He hasn't walked a sideline on a Sunday. He hasn't called a play that counts. The scoreboard has never once lit up with his name on the wrong side of it. And somehow, his own city's media is already talking about firing him. Let that sit for a second. Not one snap. Not one game. And they're already writing his obituary. You want to talk about backwards? This is the punishment landing before the crime. This is the verdict getting read before the trial even starts. It's like a jury walking into the courtroom, taking one look at the guy, and going, "Yeah, guilty," before a single word of evidence hits the table. That's what's happening in Cleveland right now. A head coach is getting buried in July for a season that doesn't exist yet, and I need you to really feel how absurd that is. Coaches get years. Coaches get grace periods. Coaches get let's see what he can build. But this guy, he gets a countdown clock before week 1 is even on the calendar. One and done, they're whispering. Fired after 1 year. For what? For a season nobody has watched? So let's ask the real question. Why him? Why now? Why is this the man they've decided to come for? I'll plant the seed right here, and we'll dig into all of it. Because here's the thing that's really going on. Todd Monken committed one unforgivable sin in the eyes of the Cleveland media. He refused to run their playbook. He didn't chase the quarterback carousel they were spinning. He didn't go begging for every name they threw at the wall. He looked at his own room, he looked at a young Shedeur Sanders, and he said, "You've got a real shot to win this job. A fair shot. An honest competition." And apparently, in Cleveland, honesty gets you fired. Think about that. A coach does the one thing you'd actually want a coach to do. He's fair. He's patient. He lets it play out on the field instead of on Twitter, and the reward is people calling for his head. That's not football analysis, y'all. Let me be crystal clear about the frame here, because this is what the whole story is really about. This is not analysis. This is a hit job wearing an analysis costume. It's dressed up in coach speak and win projections, but underneath it, it's an agenda. Because a coach who's doing the honest, fair thing should never be the guy under fire before the season even breathes. And yet here we are. So who's really behind this? And what are they so afraid of? That's where this gets ugly. All right, let's slow it down for a second and actually walk through this. Because if you're just tuning in, you need the full picture, not the headline. The whole thing. Here's what Todd Monken walked into. He did not build this quarterback room. He inherited it. At the top of it, you've got the Deshaun Watson contract, one of the most tangled, impossible-to-move situations in the entire league. That's not a deal you just walk away from. That money is on the books whether Monken likes it or not. And then, sitting right there in that same room, you've got a young Shedeur Sanders, a rookie the media has spent months trying to bury before he ever took a real snap. So what did Monken do with that mess? He could have folded. He could have caved to every talking head screaming at him from the outside. Instead, he did something simple and honest. He opened it up. A real competition. A legitimate shot for whoever earns it. That's the flashpoint. Right there. Because the media didn't want a fair competition. They wanted him to go shopping. They had a wish list, a whole parade of names they demanded he chase. And when he didn't, they acted like he'd failed some assignment. Like not raiding the quarterback market was a fireable mistake. As if standing pat and betting on the room he had was some kind of crime. And now you've got two camps forming, and I want you to see them clearly. On one side, you've got the narrative pushers. To them, Monken backing Sanders isn't loyalty, it's stubbornness. It's arrogance. It's a coach being too proud to admit he needs help. That's the story they're selling. But on the other side, the people who've actually been watching, we see something completely different. We see a coach with a spine. We see a guy who isn't going to let a bunch of outside voices bully him into panic, signing somebody just to quiet the noise. That's not stubborn. That's conviction. And here's the part that makes the timing so telling. The louder that fire him noise gets, the closer we creep to training camp, to real reps, real competition, real football. And that terrifies them. Because the second Shedeur gets on that field and starts making plays, the anti-Sanders storyline they've built for months blows up in real time. So watch what they did. They pivoted. If you can't run the quarterback out of town, you go after the man protecting him. You go after the coach. It's strategic, it's calculated, and it's desperate. But understand this, and understand it deep. When they come for Monken, they're not really coming for Monken. They're coming for Shedeur, and that tells you everything about what this is really about. So let's actually put their case on the table. Let's take every reason they've got and hold it up to the light. Because I promise you, the second you touch it, the whole thing crumbles. Reason number one, he didn't chase the dream quarterbacks. He didn't go raid the market for their wish list. Okay, fine, but let me show you just how flimsy that argument really is. One of the names they were mad he didn't pursue? The guy wasn't even eligible to play in the NFL. Not through the draft, not through the supplemental route, not through anything. He literally could not join the league. Read that back to yourself. They're furious that Monken didn't sign a player who cannot be signed. That's not football analysis, y'all. That's not a reason. That's an excuse. That's grabbing any stick you can find just so you've got something to swing. Reason number two, the win total. This is the where's our turnaround trap, and I get why fans fall for it. You see other franchises hire a new coach and rocket up the standings in 1 year. You see the quick fixes, the instant playoff jumps, and you go, well, where's ours? I understand the impatience. I do. But here's what that argument conveniently forgets. Those teams didn't gut themselves first. Cleveland did. This franchise traded away a generational, franchise-defining force on defense, the kind of player you build a decade around. And the moment that trade went through, the Browns told the whole world exactly what they were doing. They signed up for a rebuild. Full stop. So you're going to hand a first-year head coach a stripped-down roster, tie both his arms behind his back, take away the one guy who terrified opposing offenses, and then grade him on a playoff push? Come on. That's not a reason. That's an excuse. And reason number three might be the most unfair of all. They want to grade him on quarterbacks he never even chose. Think about the setup here. You bring in an offensive-minded coach. You deny him the chance to pick his own guy. You hand him players who were already sitting in the building before he ever walked in the door. And then if it doesn't magically click, you point the finger at him? That's backwards. That's a setup. You don't get to build the trap and then blame the man for stepping in it. So run it all back. He didn't chase impossible quarterbacks. He inherited a gutted roster. He's stuck with a QB room he never picked. Not one of these reasons holds up. Not one. And everybody actually paying attention knows it. The case to fire him isn't a case at all. It's a hit dressed up as one. But here's what really flips this whole thing, because what Monken's already shown tells a completely different story. Now let me talk to the Browns fans directly for a second, because I know exactly what that fear feels like. You've been burned before. You've got scar tissue. You've watched coaches walk into this building and turn it into a circus sloppy practices. No real plan from one week to the next. Chaos everywhere you looked. So when somebody yells he could be a disaster, a part of you flinches. I get it. That fear is real. You earned that fear the hard way. But here's the thing. You gotta look at what's actually in front of you right now, not the ghosts from the past. Because everything Todd Monken has shown this spring points in the complete opposite direction. This is not a guy who's winging it. He's organized. He's demanding. He holds people accountable. He'll stop practice cold to make sure something gets done the right way instead of just letting it slide. He's getting on, guys. He's coaching with an edge. That's not chaos, y'all. That's a professional operation being run by a professional. And that alone, just that, separates him from every ghost you're afraid of. The disaster coaches couldn't run a clean practice. This man is running a tight ship in June. You already have your answer on whether he's another mess. And let's not pretend this guy fell off a truck. Either, this isn't some unproven gamble. Todd Monken built genuinely dangerous offenses in Baltimore. We saw it. It's on tape. It's documented. The offensive mind is real. This is a coach who knows how to scheme, how to attack, how to put points on the board when he's got the pieces to do it. Now here's the honest part, and I'm not going to hide from it. He might not have the roster talent yet to put all of that on display in Cleveland. The weapons might not be there. The dogs might not be there. But that's the hand he was dealt. That's not a flaw in the coach. You don't blame the chef when somebody hands him half the ingredients. And this is exactly where it gets exciting for me. Because look at what you've actually got. You've got a young quarterback in Shedeur Sanders getting real developmental reps, real coaching, real reps under a legitimate offensive teacher. That combination, a raw, hungry QB and a proven offensive builder that is the exact kind of setup that produces breakouts. We've seen young quarterbacks explode the moment they land in the right room with the right teacher. So this isn't their attacking a scrub. This is starting to look like a guy who might actually be building something real here. Patience isn't naive. Not here. Patience is the smart read. Patience is seeing what everybody else is too loud to notice. And if that's true, if he really is building something, then there's only one scenario left where this whole thing ends early. So let's bring this whole thing home, and let's start by throwing out the scoreboard they're trying to use against him. Because in a rebuild, wins are the wrong measuring stick. They are. You don't judge a first-year coach on a gutted roster by counting W's. You judge him on progress. Are the young guys getting better? Is the team more competitive in December than it was in September? Is there a real arc of visible climb across the season? That's the fair standard. That's the honest one. And by that standard, Todd Monken is doing exactly what he's supposed to do. Developing the young core, giving Shedeur a real shot, building something week by week. That's the job. He's doing the job. Now, I'll be straight with you, because I don't dodge the hard stuff. There is one scenario where Monken actually could be gone after a single year. But hear me out, because this isn't the concession you think it is. It's the mic drop. Picture this. The wins don't come. The record's ugly, and that ugly record lands Cleveland right at the top of the draft, a shot at a marquee, franchise-altering quarterback prospect. Suddenly, this job isn't a rebuild anymore. It's a destination, young talent, a blue-chip QB on the way, an offense ready to pop. And when a job gets that shiny, the big-name coaches come circling. A proven guy swoops in. Monken gets pushed out. But look closer at what that actually means. Even in that version, the one where he's gone, Monken didn't fail. He didn't lose the room. He didn't blow it with Shedeur. He did the thankless, unglamorous work of steadying a sinking ship, and he got replaced because he made the seat too attractive for somebody else to sit in. You see it? Every single road leads back to the same place. He did nothing wrong. Every scenario, the fair one, the ugly one, all of it clears him completely. So here's the truth, plain as day. The media came after this coach because their case against the quarterback fell apart. They spent months trying to bury Shedeur Sanders, and when the lies stopped sticking, they pivoted to the guy giving him a fair shot. That's it. That's the whole play. And it will not work. Here's what I believe is coming. Steady growth. A team that gets tougher and more competitive as the year rolls on. Young players taking real steps. And Shedeur Sanders getting the honest, fair opportunity he was promised, the one they never wanted him to have. So I'll leave it right here with you. Is the media being fair to Todd Monken? Or are they just mad he's backing Shedeur? Drop it in the comments. I'm reading every one. And if you want the truth on this Browns situation while everybody else sells you the narrative, hit that like, hit subscribe, and let's ride this thing out together.